Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
We may never know their names, yet Jody McBrayer brings the brightest talent to the forefront. Right here on Backline with Jody McBrayer. Exclusively on UBN Radio TV.
Welcome, mortals. We're so glad that you are here for Backline. I'm Jody McBrayer. I'm your host. Thank you so much for being here. It's great to be back in Los Angeles again and be doing some live stuff for once instead of trying to do something via satellite. And I have to start off by saying I would never, ever in a million years think about doing this from Nashville because I have been waiting so long to meet this beautiful lady that is sitting next to me. I need everybody to give a huge round of applause to Miss Bridgette Bryant, who is sitting here. Let me tell you, and everybody who knows me well knows this, so I'm going to gush just a little and we'll get it out of the way, but everybody who knows me well knows that I have just been fascinated by your voice and your delivery for so long, and your gift is inspiring. It really is. And so it's an honor for me to have you in my chair and for you to be here, and I just can't wait to hear all that you have to say. And I told you before we went on the air I was going to make you sing a little bit, so don't get nervous. Okay, good. Can we hear her? Hold on, is she on? Oh, there you are, yes. Okay.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Oh,
for
it's my
your
pleasure.
feelings like that. I thank you. I appreciate you very much.
Well, it's my pleasure.
I'm happy to be here.
Good. Fought the LA traffic and you made it in one
Yes,
piece.
I
It was
did.
funny. I was texting her and she's like, can we talk? Texting's dangerous. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm from Tennessee. It's not against the law yet. It should be.
It's
but
not?
No. It's
Okay.
ridiculous. Okay, well, let's just start at the beginning here and tell me, you're a native of Los Angeles, which there aren't many of those. So much music here, so much inspiration. Tell me how it all got started. Take me back to the beginning of Bridget, as it were.
Well, it's the
Should we roll the music, the B-roll?
okay, right. Oh goodness, I grew up in a musical family. My grandmother. I have to start with my grandmother. We called her Big Mama, and she sang and directed choirs and choral ensembles.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful lyric soprano. And then consequently, all of her children, which were 4, were musically inclined, one of which is my mother. So my mother had this golden voice.
Sorry.
I know.
Sorry, hold on. That was weird. Sorry, your mother had a golden voice.
Yes, has still. So, music was always around the house. And my mother married my father. My father's a musician. He was a musician. Played with everybody. Victor Moan, Della Reese, their musical director, first black on the NBC soundstage. And he just did everything. And so music was always around. There was never a time when I didn't have it and love it and want to do it. So when I was little, I just wanted to sing. I knew I was a person, fortunately, that knew early what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So, I didn't want to do this, though. They put me in the cherubim choir when I was little, I liked music, but I liked music from the safety and privacy of my room.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But my grandmother was like, you go sing in the choir.
Oh, gosh.
So I did, and Mrs. Martin was the choir director. I'll never forget her. She made me do my first solo.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How old were you?
About 3 or 4 years
Wow.
old.
Oh, my gosh.
It was little. We were little bitties.
You were prepped for it then, for sure.
I was. And, just grew up singing, and my sister helped me tremendously. I was the only, 11, 12-year-old listening to jazz, in my little peer group.
Yeah.
I was singing people and mentioning people that they didn't know anything about. Thank you, Sherry.
That's
So
awesome.
it was always around. I wanted to sing with Stevie Wonder. I knew when I was little that that's what I wanted to do. And consequently, that's what I did. That was my very first professional secular job. My first paying job, though, was with Daryl Coley, You familiar with Daryl
I know
Cope?
the name, yes.
you should know the name.
Absolutely.
Grammy-winning gospel
Yeah.
artist, singer, not just gospel music, but that's what he's most noted
Yeah.
for. But he was my first paying job, really,
Wow.
when I was about 16 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And then I went on, and I went to work with Stevie Wonder right out of high school. Excuse me. That was my first real. I'm leaving the nest, and
Stevie
I'm
Wonder.
going out into the world. You know, my mother fought back the tears, and I'm sure threatened the managers and told them, you know, you better watch out.
Yeah,
for
well,
her."
I'm sure. Oh my gosh. So you were what? Were you 18?
Oh no, I was about 19-ish.
Okay.
Getting 20.
But
I remember
still.
having my 21st birthday on the road
Oh my
in
gosh.
Malaysia, I think it was. I had it in two places.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
It was awesome. It is
So,
awesome.
so what record at the time, or what? Well, obviously, when you go onto a Stevie, you probably sing everything. But I
Oh
mean,
my goodness, I had to do it was a crash course. Everything is last minute there, you know. I think I auditioned in the middle of the night. I got the job in the middle of the night, and then the next day they were like, "Well, we're leaving in 2 days, so study."
Oh my gosh. Well, but you
Yeah.
probably knew some of it, but learning the
I
backgrounds
knew
are
some of
completely
it, but
different.
I didn't, you know.
Yeah.
I had to learn a catalog.
Oh my gosh.
But you know what? I tell everybody, because I think I went through to maybe a semester and a half, maybe 2 of college. Stevie Wonder was my college
I'm
education.
sure. I'm sure.
Right, yeah.
I mean that song's in the Key of Life record. I mean, I have worn that thing out.
You and everybody
Oh, my
else in this.
gosh.
I had the great honor this past Christmas. You know, he does I want to say it's Toys for Tots, but I don't think that's what it's called. It's not Toys for Tots. But it's something he's
Something
been doing
similar to that.
every year for decades now. You know, getting raising money and getting toys. You know, for children who don't have anything.
Yeah.
So he gives this big concert. And I did the concert with him this last year, going home again. And he did songs in the Key of Life.
Oh wow.
And I was so busy screaming and hollering. I had to remember, oh, you're at work. You know, you're at work. You have to do
Oh, my
this. You have to
gosh.
stop screaming and crying. And
I can't imagine. I remember seeing him even when I was a kid on television and just being blown away, not just by how he overcame his obstacles, but how he far exceeded so many people who were sighted and able to, you know, he's just brilliant. What a brilliant mind. And even just this week, I posted a video on Facebook of him singing Fragile with Sting. Have you seen?
oh, my goodness.
I was like, shut up. That's unreal. I got
Oh,
chills.
It was. I keep going back to that video.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I love that.
I've listened to it
love
like
that.
100 times.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. Before we go any further, I want people to hear your voice.
Okay.
And I think if we can start with Separate Lives, if that's okay.
It is
Now,
okay.
obviously, you toured with Phil Collins for a while. How many years?
A little while. It really wasn't that many years, although it seems like it, because what we did still lives on, you know,
Sure.
so much. You
Yeah.
know, people are always hitting me on Facebook and Twitter and, oh, we love Separate Lives. It feels as though I did it yesterday.
I'm
But I tell
sure.
you, it's like a year, maybe a little over a year. When he got his first, I was in the first group of background singers that he had.
Now, what year was that? Do you remember?
That was, I do. I think it was about 1990.
Okay. Because I was in college.
And I was 2.
Oh, my
But
gosh. So we're probably the same age. We're, you know.
no, I doubt it.
No.
I think I got you
Oh,
beat.
please. You don't look it, that's for
Well,
sure.
thank you.
But I remember sitting in the back seat of a friend, you know, you all pile into the same car and go someplace when you're in college. I didn't have a car my freshman year. It wasn't allowed where I went to school. I went to a strict Christian school.
Okay.
And so, and they said, oh, I got the, you know, I love Phil Collins. I got his new live, I think it was, at the time it was a live record.
The
but
Sirius
yeah,
tour.
Sirius tour, that's
Yeah.
right. And I think it was recorded in London, wasn't it?
It was recorded in Germany.
Germany. Okay. Either way, they played this song, and I remember sitting in the back of that car and like, oh, I love this song, Separate Lives. It's great. And then your vocal came on, and it was, I mean, I don't mean to over-exaggerate, but it seriously was life-changing for me as far as music was concerned. I don't know that I'd ever heard a vocal like that. And you need to know, to this day, I still play this for my musician friends, my singer friends, and I'm like, this is one of the finest, A, live vocals, and B, vocals, period, that I have ever heard recorded.
Bless your heart.
And I mean it. And I know it's hard when people gush like that to know how to respond, but let's play Separate Lives and just enjoy it for what it's worth. This is Phil Collins and Bridgette Bryant live in Germany.
You called me from the room in your hotel. All for romance, for someone that you met, and telling me how sorry you were leaving so soon, and that you miss me sometimes when you're alone in your room. Do I feel lonely too? You have no right to ask me how I feel. You have no right to speak to me so kind. We can't go on holding on to time. So for now, we'll go on living separate lives. It's so typical. Love leads to isolation. So you build that wall. Yes, you build that wall. And you make it stronger. You have no right to ask me how I feel. Oh no, you have no right to speak to me so kind. Someday I'm just mine. Find myself looking in your eyes. But for now, we'll go on living separate lives. Yes, for now,
down. I don't even know what to say. We'll let them applaud this time. Jarvis is even freaking out. Okay, there's a million things I could say. I'm tearing up a little with that one. It is one of the finest vocals. I said that, but you were sitting there as we were listening, talking about how you could hear the baby in your voice, just how young you were. Yeah. Tell us about that experience. Tell us about what it was like. You were telling me that you guys had to act like you were mad at each other.
Yeah, we did. Because it was the song of Separate Lives. And we were asking each other, how do you feel? And after you just dumped me and left me like that, so we're not really looking at each other. We were just every now and then we'd look, and I guess the most full on look was after. Find myself looking in your eyes, and I turn around and.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
All right, it was fun.
And you said he was the nicest. I mean, you couldn't be mad at him.
The nicest, really. He was. He treated me like a queen. Yeah. Honestly, I had a good time, and I met some of the best people in the world. Some of them I already knew, like Arnold McCuller. I think he might have been the one to tell Phil, "Hey, call my friend." And my friend Fred White, my brother. He's my kid's godfather. But when I first started singing, I was singing with him. So those people I already knew. But I met Leland Sklar. Leland Sklar, Daryl Stormer. I mean, there were just so many beautiful people out there that are still my friends. Yeah, and
today. When you travel with these people like you do, it's intense. You're doing sometimes 2 shows a night, depending on where you are. I don't know if you've ever done that, but...
Well, not with Phil, but yes, I have.
Oh, sure. I mean, you do, a matinee and then an evening or whatever, and you just become family with a lot of these people.
Yeah,
you get so close to them. You travel.
Sleep in the, on the same bus or whatever. You're eating at the same table.
You just have no choice.
No.
And, and you definitely weed out who you like and who you don't like fast. But I can totally get, there are people that I've traveled with, over the years, and they're still like family to me. And even if you don't see them every day, you just pick up where you left off.
That's right.
You see each other at your best and your worst.
That's right.
Well, okay, so Phil Collins, obviously unbelievable legend. I miss his music. I wish he would do something else. It's been a long time since he's done anything fresh, but gosh, what a gift. Stevie Wonder was your first, which who can say that?
I'm really blessed.
Yeah, you are.
I can say that.
Absolutely. If there's one thing or one moment that you can pick, which I know it's difficult to do sometimes, but if there's one moment you can pick where you were up there singing with someone, whether it's Stevie or whoever it was, I know for me there was a moment in my career where I was like, gosh, this is it. This is it. This is the dream, and it's happening right now. What was that moment for you?
Ooh, that's a humdinger. That's one you should have emailed me and said, think on this.
I know, but it's got to be the first thing that comes to your head. So,
this is it. What is it?
Well, and I know that's a good question, and we could expound on that. That's a whole other show, sister.
What is it? What is it?
But that moment where you like I remember one time for me, it was when I sang with a band, and we had gained a little bit of notoriety, and people were actually singing our song back to us. And I remember sitting on the stool, taking my mic away and holding it out, and people singing the song back, and you're thinking, they get it. They get it. So maybe it's not the fame moment, but it's just the heart connect moment, that moment where you're like, this is what I was made to do.
You know what? I have moments all the time.
Well, do tell.
When I feel that, I'm doing what I need to do. Then... it was so much. It was just fun. Yeah. And I didn't really realize. I don't think I realized until I got older that I had actually manifested my dreams.
That's interesting.
I was this. When you're young, you just go on in life, and you're like, oh yay, oh I want to do that. Oh yay, I'm gonna do. But when I got older, and I had to look back, and I said, do you realize, when you were a little girl, you said, I want to sing with Stevie Wonder was the first real song. I remember I was about 3. 3 is a significant time for me.
It's a big number for you.
We were at a family barbecue, and I didn't really want to be bothered with anybody. I just wanted to lay down under the daddy's baby grand where the little turntable was, and there's a little. You remember the little 45s?
Oh yeah.
The little,
Use your little plastic
funny
thing
little
in the middle,
in the
yep.
middle, and I was on my hands, my arms like this, just looking at the thing go around and round, and they were playing "Signed, Sealed, Delivered" over and over and over and over and over. So being with him, when did it really register? I think I got older when I was away from
Sure.
it all, but I always knew that I was in the place that I wanted to be. I can say more of a heart connect once I broke away from that and became independent.
Sure.
And then and older, that has a lot to do with it.
Does.
Because
Yeah.
you know, when you're younger, you're and you know something else about me too. I know I didn't finish that thought,
That's all right.
but something else.
This is your show, sister.
All right. I didn't want to get into this whole business because I wanted to be famous, you know, because I wanted to perform in front of all of these people.
Sure.
And actually, I was terrified. I was very shy, and I still have some shyness about me.
I can see that.
Okay, good.
A little bit.
Just a
You
little
definitely
bit.
come out of your shell some, but
But the reason why I wanted to do it was because I loved music. So I'll backtrack a little bit. When did I know that, you know, I was really like in those quiet moments when Stevie would sing something very intimate and along with everybody else in the stadium, I felt like I was the only one there. Those kinds of moments made me know,
yeah.
I'm thankful I'm where I need to be. But when I actually made the heart connect me to the people, I was much older
Yeah.
and had more life experience and really started to relate to what I was singing,
Yeah.
you know.
Sure.
So I'd have to say it was later on in my life.
Sure. Well, and I mean, it's hard to sing a song like Separate Lives and really understand
I didn't
it.
know anything about that.
Exactly. I know.
Right.
Well, even back then, it was just like, oh, she's a good singer. Now I listen to it and I'm like, "Pooh," you know what I mean? It's a whole different meaning. But, you know, it's such a great word for the young musician. You did get started so young, you know, probably younger than most, and doing it right out of the chute. I don't know that you've slowed down since, really. Maybe a little.
A little bit.
But-
Have some kids.
Yeah, that'll do it. But you know, for me, I can see your heart. I can see your heart when I hear you sing, and I think that that's something that a lot of musicians today lack. You know, and I think that probably helps you make that connection too. But I want to play another song. I want to play one of your songs. Now we have two specifically. We have a song called "Soft Place" and "So High." Now I'm going to let you pick which one we hear next, but I want to hear a little backstory about it before we play it. So you pick.
Okay.
I love them both, so
You do?
I do. I cheated and listened to them yesterday.
Okay. Well, let's play Soft Place.
Okay. I like
And
that
I'll
one.
say this is off of my Soulmate Collection CD. And everything on this CD, I'll share this, is personal.
It's good.
I lived it.
Good.
So,
Makes it better.
yeah.
Sometimes.
It's all, and I think that would, connecting with the last question, that would be the heart connect.
Yeah.
Because all of these songs they're my life, you know, in the different relationships that I had been in and the different lessons, experiences that I had taken from each of them. So Soft Place is, it came out of a situation where I was wanting to be with this person, and he had been hurt so many times that he thought, you got to have something up your sleeve.
Oh.
You can't just like me for me.
Interesting.
You can't. I don't have this. I'm not this. I'm not that. What do you really want? You know? And I just wanted to be a soft place.
Wow.
Once he decided that he would take a chance and try to fall in love again, you know, if you take the leap, I promise you'll be all right if you land.
See, now that makes the song a whole different thing. Let's hear it right now. This is Soft Place, Bridgette Bryant.
We don't have to make hold you near, be in love's atmosphere. Together we two. I know that all things take time, but if the stars are aligned, we may find something divine tonight. And should we tear down the walls and heed nature's call, we might see that we are what we've both been waiting for. I wanna be a soft place. I wanna be a real place. I wanna be a loving place. You fall. I wanna be a soft place. I wanna be a cool place. I wanna be the only one you call. Did you just move in close? Am I imagining what I want desperately to be true? 'Cause what I see in your eyes as you draw me near, surrender tinged with fear. But baby, me too. I know we've both been here before, repeatedly round love's door in vain. But baby, this is not the same. Should we tear down the walls and heed nature's call, we might see that we are what we've both been waiting for. Oh, baby, I wanna be a loving place. You fall, you fall. I wanna be a soft place, cool place. I wanna be the only one you call. I know that all things take time, but if the stars are aligned, we may find something divine tonight. Should we tear down the walls and heed nature's call, we might see that we are what we've both been waiting for. I wanna be for you, baby. You fall, you fall. I wanna be a soft place, cool. I wanna be the only one you
That's come hither music. Okay.
Yeah. I was trying.
Well, it was working. Oh my gosh, I love it. You guys can't see Jarvis, but Jarvis is our engineer, and we're loving it here. We are loving it. Well, okay, so you made that record 3 years ago, right? And it's available on iTunes
And cdbaby.com.
and cdbaby.com, and it's
Amazon.
called Bridgette Bryant's Soulmate Collection.
Soulmate.
And
One word.
one word.
Soulmate collection.
Okay, y'all need to go get that, because, all right. That's nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so I was reading over a list. I found a list online of, some of the people that you've traveled with, and, obviously the list is unbelievable. And you've been all over the world, and you've had the chance to see amazing things. And, I think sometimes people think being a musician is so glamorous because you go to all these places, but they don't realize that you literally go from the hotel to
right.
You don't get much time in any cities. But what, in your opinion, when you're traveling, what do you think is the most important thing as a musician, to do? We're talking about physically, because I know we have a lot of musicians that listen to the show, a lot of session singers, a lot of people who are traveling musicians and stuff like that. What is some advice that you could give to them as far as preserving the voice, because obviously you sang every night a lot, and then two, as far as travel is concerned, what are some things that you did or you found helpful to help you overcome, or were you good at that? Because some people aren't.
When I first started, I was crying a lot because I was so sleepy, and Stevie didn't care about time.
Oh gosh!
But what?
Oh my gosh!
It's late. You don't even know it. He doesn't care.
Oh my gosh!
We would finish those long concerts. Oh my God, those concerts would be 3 hours and some. And then he'd make us get on this airplane, and we were recording something. Was it School Days? It was something.
It's late.
Spike
He don't
Lee
even
movie.
care.
He doesn't care. He doesn't even know what time it is.
Oh, that's
But
too much.
so I would say always get your rest if you can. Don't party. Go ahead and party if you need to, but don't party too hard.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated. I'm a tea drinker to my heart, and whatever you need to do for your body, steam, workout, whatever you can do for you that to just keep you whole. You hear all these sounds and stuff. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. It's all part of the experience.
Okay. Just take care of your body. Be mindful of your body, and don't go so far out that you forget how to come back.
Yeah, that's good to say.
You got
Yeah.
stay centered. Whatever your spiritual thing is, take some time to connect every day.
That's a good word.
Throughout the
Yeah.
day.
It can take you away sometimes if you're not careful.
It can.
You get out there and it's like, and the fatigue doesn't help. You get so tired sometimes, and then you start to maybe make poor judgments, or you don't necessarily think things through. And so that's a great word to keep yourself centered. I know that you have a family. How many kids do you have?
I have 4 boys.
You have 4 boys. Oh my gosh. Do them sing? Are they musicians?
You know what? They are all musically inclined.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to do anything about it at all.
Oh, really?
Their dad is a sax player. He's a musician. He's a beautiful musician. And their aunt's a singer. I also don't know if you ever heard of Lynn Fidmont.
Yes.
That's my
Are
children's
you kidding me? I didn't know that. Well, I know Carrie. Do you know Carrie Larson? She does the black and white sessions.
I have heard about Carrie
Okay, yeah.
Larson.
And Lynn did one.
I
had
heard
never
that,
heard
yeah,
Lynn
yeah,
until
yeah.
that, and she's brilliant.
She is.
Oh my
She
gosh.
is. We worked with Stevie together.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yep.
Carrie's like, you need to have Lynn on the show. So
You do. You do.
I would love that.
Okay.
Yeah, she was cool. But they chose not to, huh?
Well, they did until just recently. I hear my youngest, who's getting ready to be 18 now, and he's singing. He can sing.
Oh, really?
I said, you can sing, right? Yeah, I know. Oh, nonchalant. Yeah, I know.
Maybe you should
Like,
tell
if I
him.
ask you to sing something, on a recording, would you? No.
Singing gets the ladies, though. Girls like singers.
Let me tell you something. All mothers think their kids are cute.
Uh-huh.
But my sons are really handsome.
Yeah.
They don't have a problem in that area.
Well, he doesn't need the music then,
He
does he?
doesn't, and he wants to be a firefighter, so that
okay.
particular one.
Well, that's
he's not
admirable.
They will, none of them will have trouble.
Yeah, my daughter's only 10, and she loves to sing, and I'm just kind of like, what about a doctor or something? You could be a singing doctor, anything. I don't know.
I wanted to be a doctor. I said I wanted to be a doctor, though I hated school.
That's
If there are
tough.
children listening, you don't remember that. But I didn't, I wanted to do music all along, but the practical side, the part that wanted to please my family.
Yeah.
Said, "Oh, I want to be a doctor because I do love science. I want to be
Sure.
a doctor." And my brother ruined the whole plan. He said, "Dude, don't you know music is medicine?
Oh,
Music
okay.
is healing." I said,
All right.
"Yes."
You see a philosopher you got in the family.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He's also a musician.
It is the truth.
It
the
is.
truth.
So I mean, in my own way, I am a doctor.
Absolutely, you
So
are.
I did it. Yay.
Well, you are a doctor. I want you to sing something for us here. It's so dry, though. It's not like the studio where we got all this reverb.
That's
And Jarvis
okay.
can't help us. Jarvis. God. But, I would like, why don't you just pick something? Like, what's...
You know what? Whenever anybody says pick a song,
You have a hard
I
time
know
doing it.
all the songs in the world when I'm not in here when somebody asks me.
Of course. Okay.
So what do you want me to sing?
Well, why don't you just sing a little bit of River God? Because I heard you... Do you remember it enough to sing it?
Oh, I know River
Okay.
God.
Well, Nicole Norderman, who originally recorded
She
that,
wrote
a
that.
friend of mine.
Get out of here.
No, I love her to death. And I meant to forward that to her so she could hear you sing it.
Would you do that?
Yes,
You know what? I want to meet that woman. We'll talk about that off
No,
there.
she is a fierce lyricist.
Let me listen. If she doesn't write another song in her life, and I know she's written many since then, but if she wanted to stop at River God,
No,
she could have.
I know.
That's one of the most important songs in my life.
Well, wow. She would love to hear that because
I'd love to tell her.
it's a strong lyric.
That song has changed and healed and so many people.
Well, then you need to sing it. Why don't you just, I think it's Rolling River God. I think that's the key.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So you just take it and sing. You can just sing like verse and chorus or just stop when you feel like nobody cares. They just want to hear you sing. So,
Okay. You know what I'm going to do? It's going to be real tacky.
Oh, nobody cares.
America. No, you can see. I'm going to take this gum out of my mouth. You don't see this. There you go.
Oh, that's awesome. All right.
Okay. So we have no piano, but we just imagine. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Rolling river God, little stones are smooth. Only once the water passes through. And so I am a stone. I'm rough and I'm grainy still. I'm just trying to reconcile this river's chill. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know the time brings change, and change takes time. But when the sunset comes, my prayer might be this one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am, Lord, I'm just a little smoother in your hands. Ooh. stone and I won't be smooth. Not until the water passes through. Ooh. Thank you, Nicole Norderman.
Oh my gosh. Well, we can all die today because we have heard it. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing that, because that was unreal. Unreal. And who needs music and who needs reverb?
I do.
No, you don't. Oh my gracious. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
You know, I hear you singing that song. I remember, you know, I was in a Christian band, and she traveled with us as an opening act, you know, and she sat back there and wrote her second record while we were on tour, because, you know, the pressure was on. She was singing River God every night. So I sat every night and watched her sing that song. And then she would go backstage and she would write songs like, I don't know if you've ever heard her sing I Am, the song I Am.
I think so.
Oh my gosh. And she just would sit at the piano, and I was never a wordsmith. I was never a lyricist. It always was like pulling teeth for me to write, you know. I don't know. Do you write?
Most of my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, God bless
Everything
you.
but 2 songs on.
God bless you.
Yeah.
That's not a gift for me. It's like, it's difficult for me. And I think it's just because, you know, I know if I really want to write what I want to say, it's going to be real vulnerable and really exposed, you know.
And that's what everybody needs.
I know. And I'm 45 now, and so I'm just to the place where I'm like, well, that's what I'm going to have to do.
Good.
But that moved me, and I really appreciate you doing that.
Oh, thank you.
My gosh.
I appreciate Nicole Norderman. I'm telling you, I said off air, I want to say it now. That is one of the most important songs of my life, in my life. That, when I heard that song first, Sheila E.
Really?
Yes, I used to work with Sheila. She's a dear friend.
Yeah, she's been in here before.
Has she?
Yes,
Good.
has.
Okay. We were doing a benefit for someone, and she pulled that song out, sang that song, and broke everybody down. And when I heard it, I said, "Oh, that's got to be a part of my life."
I know.
Really, because
my
it
gosh.
just, it just kind of goes inside, and it meets you where you are.
It does.
And it does stuff to you.
Yeah, well, we can all relate. I mean, who hasn't felt like a rough, grainy stone, just sitting at the bottom of a stream, and just, life just flows over you,
Yeah, sometimes fast, sometimes, but it's never dry. It's always doing something.
It sure is.
And you just want to be a little bit better than you were the day before.
Yeah. And that's the hope. We hope that pick us up and notice that some of those rough edges are gone, and maybe we've learned something.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Gosh, we need to pass the plate. Well, okay, so we've just got a couple of minutes. It goes so fast.
Are you serious?
No, I know,
We've been talking a
and
lot.
I hate
Oh,
it.
wow. Okay.
I could sit and talk to you for hours. But tell us one of your favorite road stories, really quick. Like something that, I know that's sort of the same thing as, but I'm talking more like funny or something crazy that happened to you. Like, did you ever fall on stage, or did you ever burp and some, stuff like that, or
no.
other.
I didn't burp. I didn't. No, I didn't burp. But I was on the road with a singer named Will Downing, and I did a duet with him too. A beautiful song that Rochelle Farrell wrote, and they duet together. Nothing Has Ever Felt. One of the baddest songs in the world. So I got a chance to perform that with him for many years. And one night we were at, I think it was Shane Park in Detroit. And it's right on the water.
Yeah, I know what that is.
And you know how big those bugs are out there? Yeah. And I had my mouth wide open, hitting a note.
I know.
And one of those bugs said, right in my mouth, right? And listen, anybody that knows me knows that Bridgette does not do bugs. Oh my goodness, let something fly in this dress. You will see a whole nother side of it. Right? So this thing flew in my mouth, but I kept my cool. That's when I knew, oh, you're a professional now. Because I said, oh, God. I kept going. Oh my goodness, I went to talk about pee in your pants.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my God. And if you look on Phil's video, the Sirius tour video, we were singing something. It might have been "Do You Remember?" And I was coming up. The singers have this little move where we just go like this, and I'm moving up to my mic, getting ready to sing my background part, and there's this great big bug on my mic. So I'm doing this, and right on the beat,
Oh my gosh.
I remember those kind of things. Those are some of the funnier moments.
Oh my gosh. There have been so many, most people don't notice, you know what I mean? Like they don't even realize it's happening, but gosh, if I couldn't sing with a bug in my mouth. That's for sure. I don't like bugs either, but for some reason,
it was huge.
Bugs along the water, especially in Detroit, they're just bigger, like Cadillac sized bugs.
Yes, and in the mouth.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
You are amazing. I seriously wish that we could. I wish this was a 2-hour show. It's only 50 minutes. And
I feel like we've just started.
I feel like I've been robbed. It's not fair. I finally get you the chair and we have to go.
Well, we can always talk.
Well, I hope so. You are.
Always.
You're an amazing person inside and out,
you.
and
Thank
I'm
you.
just honored. Seriously, thank you for fighting traffic, and I know you had a crazy day.
No problem.
I really
my
appreciate
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No, it's my
Really,
pleasure.
thank
And
you.
you guys, please go to iTunes or to CD
CD
Baby,
Baby.
and find Soulmate Collection, Bridgette Bryant. I'm telling you, obviously you've already been blessed by our voice tonight. There's more. No, go ahead.
There's one thing that I wanted to talk about that I didn't. I
Well,
want
let's
to mention
do
it
it
really quickly.
We'll go over.
I do since I've stopped touring with all of those people. I did my own project, of course, Soulmate Collection. I'm an independent artist now, along with a friend of mine named Will Wheaton, who's another artist. You need to have, Will
Yes,
Wheaton. He
I
needs
do.
to be right
He's
here
awesome.
in this seat. Well, together we do something called the Indie Lounge West, and it's a platform that we've developed for independent artists.
Oh, wow.
Yes. We are now online.
Okay.
www.indieloungewest.com. We're in the process of doing another show to put up.
INDI, right?
INDIE
Lounge.
Lounge LOUNGE West WEST.com.
Okay.
That is the newest thing that I'm doing, aside from working on a second project. And I'm still on the road with other artists, but that's making my money.
Yeah, that's right.
To
You
make
gotta-
some
gotta
more
pay
money.
the bills.
That's right. But yes, I want you all to check that out.
Yes. So www.indieloungewest.com.
Yes.
Bridget, thank you. Bless
Thank
you.
you. Bless
Big
you.
hand to Bridget. Come on. You got it? There it is. You guys, thanks so much for being here for Backline again. Got a great guest next week, too, but I don't know. I mean, it's a hard one to top. Not going to lie. Until next time, God bless you guys. Be safe and love the ones that you're with, because we're not promised tomorrow. Give them a big hug.
We may never know their names, yet Jody McBrayer brings the brightest talent to the forefront. Right here on Backline with Jody McBrayer. Exclusively on UBN Radio